Oh, I'm in the courtroom, so
Oh, so you're gonna do gray, is what you're saying?
uh I mean we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you never know. You never know, right?
Yeah, could slip up and say something like they violated his rights or something cool like that.
Are you primary on the trial tonight?
Uh Technically, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Uh Mentally, I would say like third.
Fair enough. I can
Corey, you
understand
turd.
that.
You're such a turd. What about you? Did you get all that video watching in?
I'm not actually not the judge for that case. I
Oh,
just finished up a hearing just a few minutes ago, and I'm just trying to close out some paperwork stuff that we got to get done. Closing out some
Oh my
cases.
goodness.
oh,
Oh, I did not mean to jump on that table.
are you sure?
Sure,
You all
you
just
can.
got a free show from Professor Bone.
Uh,
Gotta take it where you can get it, right?
it's allegedly about a dirty
Oh,
cop.
good stuff.
Oh man, this one's a lot.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty big.
Yeah,
Gonna be a long trial. You think?
yeah. It could be. I don't. I mean, I honestly, it could go till tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We're supposed to meet the PDs and talk and see what's going on.
All right. Well, good luck on it.
I
I
think I'm
should
gonna
be
need
around
it. I
to
appreciate it.
watch it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen your last couple cases. I'm not sure you need the good luck.
Mm, I mean that this one's I could probably use some luck.
Yeah, pretty tough one tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you can handle it. That's for sure.
Corey, thank you
Well,
for the
Judge
1,000
Bones
bits.
has a oh.
You have a what?
I heard a
Yeah, that's what I heard.
ah.
Riley, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate you. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That's horrible. That's
Judge
horrible.
Bones has all the confidence in you. As I see you work in the courtroom, you do a really good job as a public defender. And I will say with on my own honors that I appreciate your well bringing to the DOJ.
I
So
appreciate you. Thank you. I try, but some of them you can only try so much, you know.
you can only win so many. You can only try so hard.
Have you
If you don't try though, you know.
have you guys seen Judge Erickson around?
I have not seen him yet.
Well, I have not seen him either.
Maybe like
What time? What time's the trial? An hour?
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Like I
Mac,
said,
I
I
appreciate
don't
you,
think you
man.
need the luck. I'll be interested to see this play out. I enjoy watching you in the courtroom.
Well, thank you. I try.
Off the top of your head, do you know what court case number this is?
1865.
Oh, this is an old one.
Oh yeah. Objection.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's it's all there.
Oh yeah, it's been around for a while.
Oh, I know what this one is.
Otto, yeah, I'm gonna start it up here in a little bit. It's gonna take just a little bit before it'll happen. I don't know why.
Well, Professor Bones will stay on standby just in case Mr. Eckerson can't make it. I will
Yeah,
go.
I'll be around too, just in case something is needed. But I don't think he'll miss this one, even if he was dying.
I don't think he will either, but I'm gonna jump in my chambers and get caught up just in case.
Or you could just rule on a whim.
How would we roll
A win for the
without-
state?
No,
Yeah, I
like
think
a
the state
whim.
would love that.
Oh, a whim, like a
Yeah.
WHIM.
Yeah.
And rule on a
Just-
whim in favor of the state.
No.
Just had no information. And
You
just,
look
flip a
tense.
coin.
Quick stretch before court.
Heads or tails? Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, 50-50's a good shot. I like
Yeah.
those odds.
Yeah.
Do we do a 2 out of 3 or no?
Let's see what the first one shows, and then I'll.
And then you make your decision.
Yeah,
after that.
then I'll decide if we should go 2 out of 3.
Or maybe when that state attorney shows up, we have a paper rock scissors off.
Or we could just tell you. You could just think about something, and we could tell you what we choose, like heads or tails, and then right after we guess, you just say. I think that's a good way to go about it.
So when the state's attorney gets here, are you gonna pick heads or tails?
I can't say because it might influence one way or the other.
He does not want to influence a judge right now.
I mean, $5,000 would
Right.
influence
not
the judge,
flipping the
right?
coin,
Oh
so,
no,
you know.
that is not. Damn.
I do need it.
But I will take your $5,000, but it will not help your situation.
Oh,
Just make sure he eats a good dinner. That's all.
yeah, for a while.
You don't eat cheeseburgers so much, you know.
Every
That's 'cause you
day.
buy those
Nice
cheap
steak dinner.
cheeseburgers.
Okay, well I ain't driving down the burger shot.
I done told you where to get the good food. It might be a little bit of drive, but if you're gonna stock up, man.
Yeah.
You know, if I was
It's
a
not
criminal
all
and
you
I
can
could
eat
speed
here.
all the way down there, sure. But you know, driving the speed limit takes a while to get down there.
And you go get that casino buffet and put like Ziploc bags in your pockets, and then you just put food in them.
There's
Oh,
food at the
yeah.
casino.
But it's very bad. It's even worse than the burgers you're buying from those gas stations.
That's true.
I didn't even know there's food down there.
They got food and drinks, but they do nothing for you. You're just gonna eat them and drink them and drink them, and at the end you're like, oh, I wasted all my money on here.
Trojan,
The casino
yes.
wins every time.
It keeps me standing.
Well, your gas station burger does.
Yeah, you know.
You ever try one of those all sups burritos?
No, I don't think I've had any food besides, you know, the cheap stuff.
Well, that's an all
That's
sups
probably
burrito.
why
It's
you're
the
always
cheapest
hungry,
burrito
too.
you can have.
I'm always hungry, you know, but I'm still maintaining this figure.
Oh yeah, you look good.
You know, I got us. You know, one day this suit wasn't quite fitting, and I was like, it will stretch, and you know, it works.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it was a little loose on you at first, and you kind of built your way into it.
Yeah, you know, right
Yeah,
into
you
that
grew
garage,
into your
yeah,
suit.
helps a little bit. Just gotta, you know, stay active, running around.
Yeah, if you run down to where you buy your food at, then I mean it's kind of, you know, you're doing your exercise. Plus you get to eat whatever you want.
I typically run to and from the garage at least once or twice a day. The garage that's like over there.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you park your car in that abandoned parking lot.
Yeah, well, I do sometimes, and then sometimes I don't.
Well, that's a good story. Tell it again.
Yeah, not much to that story.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness, I'm on the table again.
Two
I just think
shows.
you
Hey,
like being tall.
hey, gentlemen, I'll be right back.
All right. Oh man. see here, chat. What do we got? Seven zero four six. September 13th is how far this goes back. Freeze it is, and I'm sad to say that I am very underprepared for this one. But where there's a will, there's a way. You know what I'm saying? Ashlock, what up, baby? And where there is a way, there is a will. It's already been continued. This is the only night that people could like really get in. But like one of the things that I noticed is like in the report. Let me pull up the search warrant too. Arrest warrant, search warrant. Like I think honestly what they should do, like I haven't seen this. Van Whiskey. I've won cases with 0 prep and lost cases with hours of prep. So you really never. Yeah, it's true. So like, I haven't seen anything where they submit like an affidavit saying this is our probable cause why we're asking for a search warrant. Why do we not get those things in the E&W? Like, what is it that they use to be able to get Richard? What up? What is it that they use to present to the judge and say this is why we want a search warrant? Because, like for us, we have a search warrant affidavit, which is the probable cause all put into the affidavit, and the judge reads that saying, yeah, you have enough information in here for probable cause to search somebody's, basically break somebody's door in and go look for stuff.
Well, I apologize for my absence. I had to run upstairs to powder my nose. It befuddles me why there's no restrooms on the bottom floor of this courthouse.
I think it's just in case like one of the toilets spring a leak that you could shower while you're down here.
Oh, so yeah, you have to toilet right upstairs if it starts leaking.
Not
I
sure
can stand
wanna
underneath and
shower
get
under
a
that.
little bit dirty, but then clean afterwards.
Gentlemen, I have a question since you guys are both judges.
Well, let's see if we have an answer. What's your question, good sir?
What does somebody submit to you guys to say, yes, here is the probable cause that I have to go and break somebody's door down to search their build, like house?
Like a search warrant affidavit?
Yes.
That's kind of exactly it. Just a search warrant affidavit.
Yeah, he nailed it. He got the right answer.
Well, I didn't know if that's what it was going to be called, so I was just curious.
Yeah, they submit the warrant plus the affidavit.
Yeah, normally the state attorneys will get it going, or actually the officers will get it started and work with the state attorneys to make it all work out.
So would you think that that is something that we would need as, public defenders, like to review after like in this case, like don't you think that's something that they should submit to us as well?
Well, if he can if I'm understanding you correctly, are you saying somebody might have done an affidavit or a warrant and executed it and did not provide the information to the public defender after they got that information that you needed?
Yeah, so like maybe they gave us the search warrant and not the affidavit for the search warrant.
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing good. You on here for the 10 o'clock trial or something else?
Yeah, 10 o'clock.
Oh, I'm just here because I happen to be doing some research for a couple of cases I have going on, and now I'm just having conversations with these two good gentlemen.
I see.
So your question is, can you clarify your question? You said you got the search warrant, but not the affidavit.
Correct.
So you're asking if the public defender should be notified as soon as a search warrant is being processed from the very beginning?
Not necessarily, but like I think that the affidavit and the search warrant should both be handed over, in my opinion.
Are you talking like discovery?
Yeah.
No, I concur. All information that the state has gathered should be submitted to the public defenders, as well as all the information gathered from the public defenders should be submitted to the state attorneys.
Because in my opinion, I would say if there's not a search warrant affidavit that like I can read through to see that there was actually probable cause, in my opinion, I mean that would give me a whole nother avenue to fight.
Mr. Spector, you went to a very good law school.
Well, he's the best of that. So you're questioning if that search warrant should have been allowed because you don't know if the affidavit was thoroughly investigated.
Yeah, and I mean I understand that you guys have a hard job, but there's things in paperwork that can be missed. So and as a public defender, that's my job, is to try and find avenues to defend my client the best way that is possible, right?
Well, I'm not gonna answer that completely clear because you are correct, but I guess I did answer it.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you absolutely should have the information on the affidavit to see the process they went to get that search warrant, because if there's any flaws in the system that they took or somebody else took, or if they did not properly get that search warrant, then yeah, you absolutely should be able to look at that and say, hey, the search warrant is no longer valid.
Right, like how would you know if they put just 2 sentences down, said, hey, I want this search warrant?
Yeah,
I would. The only thing I will say is, I'm very clear in the discovery order. I mean, anything unless it's excluded under law, which is very minimal, it has to be turned over. I mean, anything in their possession, they can't decide what's valuable, what's not valuable. I mean, you know this. Everything needs to be handed over, and it's up to you to decide what's valuable or not valuable for your case.
correct.
And that's the way that all of our discovery orders are written.
Yeah, because I was just curious. I was going back through here and noticed that all I had was a search warrant and an arrest warrant, but nothing like showing what they were saying for their PC is for the search warrant.
Yeah, not showing how they obtained that search warrant.
I mean, I know in the report that the opening statement is that they asked the court to search Ryder's home due to allegations. But other than that, it's not anything that says that they just didn't go off of hearsay to get a search warrant.
Yep, sounds interesting.
Yeah, I agree with. I agree with them. Generally speaking, the affidavits are part of discovery.
We may have found our little avenue.
Mr. Inspector, did you say what time this case started?
10 Eastern, about 40 minutes, 39
So
minutes.
look. So we had almost 40 minutes, but over 30.
Yeah, 39.
All right, I'm gonna take me a quick nap. I'll see you in a little bit.
All righty.
Have a good one.
I love y'all.
Love you.
Love you more.
Yeah, that's interesting conundrum you got there, Mr. Spectre.
That's not too interesting for me. It's going to be interesting for the state.
I mean, yeah, that's really all I can say on the matter. I gotta stay impartial, Can't really say anything further on it.
Yeah, I understand.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm with it.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, I just want to know if there's a court case.
There is in about 40 minutes.
All right.
Karthik, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you.
Yeah, just make sure
Haven't you
mask's
followed
off
like
when you
7
come back.
times? Just, I'm curious. I think I've seen your name.
I mean, you can try pulling
Unless
it
it-
off, but
unless
I
you,
don't
like-
think it's
No, they just don't
Unless
allow
it's
masks
like a
in the
different
courtroom, that's
person.
all.
I mean,
with the same name.
I can give you my name, and it kind of states this.
No, I don't need it. I'm just letting you know that you won't be able to go in with it. That's all.
Well, I'll go up there and tell the judge, you can try ripping it off, but it ain't gonna happen, homie.
All right.
My name is Cocaine Bear for a reason.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye, I love you.
Lovely citizens we have.
Yep.
Are you a police officer?
I am.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, but then I just kind of assumed since there's no badge.
They should really give you guys belt badges or neck ones or something.
Yeah, or like wear a vest or something. I don't know.
I got my creds on me, but sometimes you just don't want everyone knowing.
Oh, okay.
Doris. If the judge makes them turn over states, so they were supposed to do that
I want one of
already.
those. Judge
Creds.
ID. Yeah.
I like
There's a
that.
dead,
Yeah, that'd be
like
good.
they have a deadline.
Actually, isn't that the robe? Pull the robe out of your pocket, unroll it.
There's old Otis.
I mean, I could do that.
What's going on, guys?
What's cracking?
So much.
There's a pretty big case going on tonight. Am I in the right place?
Yeah. Get used to this place. You look like the kind of fella that's gonna be up here a lot.
Yeah, probably.
It's because of your
What's going on, Your
sandals.
Are you smoking in the courthouse?
Are you asking me if I'm smoking in the courthouse?
Yes.
Then yes.
Why?
no better place. I mean, pretty stressful place. Smoking
Okay.
cigarettes helps me
Can you
relax.
smoke outside, please?
Yeah, as soon as after I'll finish this one, then I'll go outside and smoke another one.
Well, how about you? Yeah, put that one out for me and go outside because we don't have smoking
It's
in the
already
building.
lit. I'm not putting it out. I waste a lot of fluid.
Do you see what I'm wearing right now?
Do you think I care?
Okay. Go outside the courthouse. Put it out now.
I'm gonna smoke this cigarette right here.
I will
then
hold
I'll
you
go
in
out there and
contempt.
smoke it. In contempt of what?
And the contempt of court. I'm telling you, you
That
can't
court's
smoke in
not
here.
even in session.
Do I look like I'm a judge? I got the robe. I decide what happens.
It's court
You
in
understand?
session.
Put the cigarette out.
It's court in session. I don't have proper representation if court is in session.
I don't care.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
smoke this cigarette.
All right.
Judge, you.
Yeah, I was right. You're gonna be up here quite a bit.
How's he gonna hold me in contempt of?
He said court.
There ain't no court in session. I haven't been read my rights.
Well, if a judge is here, doesn't that mean something's in session?
Ain't my session. All right, cigarette's gone. I'll be back. Sorry, Your Honor. All right.
He's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. Prophet, what up, bro?
He needs to get taken out.
Did you just order a hit?
Okay. Not like that. Disrespect.
The judge just ordered a hit on Otis.
That judge is horrible.
You just have to understand what he deals with, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that he liked that I stood my ground and there was nothing he could do about it.
I just don't think he liked that you were smoking in the courthouse.
Yeah, that could be a possibility as well.
What's your name?
Otis.
Otis what?
Hutton.
Hutton?
Yeah. You mind telling me what my record looks like?
What, you don't know what you've been to jail for?
I just know I've never been to court.
Oh.
I did have one court date one time, and I didn't come to it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was a win in my book. The court probably didn't think it was a win. So I just made up my own mind and considered it a win and went about my day.
Oh, were you guilty or no?
No, I won.
So were you guilty or no?
I don't know.
Looks like a lot of speeding, fleeing, theft, eluding, battery, speeding,
Sounds like a whole lot of not getting away to me.
speeding. Oh, attempted murder. You really stepped up your game, like at the end of last month, didn't you? Oh,
Yeah, it's
and
spicy.
yesterday. Nice, good job.
Oh, what did I do yesterday?
Tried to kill a cop.
Oh yeah. I was with you know that chick named Ling Ling.
I think I've heard of him.
Yeah, we tried killing our cop right here in the court parking lot. Actually,
Got this. It's a hat. Disturbed Minds. It's his bail bonds company. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter.
what's going on?
Not too much.
What are you looking so spiffy for?
I'm one of the witnesses.
Oh. You one of the witnesses for the state side, or?
I think I'm a witness on both sides.
Jay Salt says hi. Autotech says hi.
Hey,
What's your name there, Brownie?
Brownie. Name's Tony Arch.
Was that funny to you?
Can I not laugh?
Hello, guys.
I just didn't know if this was a funny moment or not. I mean, we're in court. Seems kind of serious to me.
What are you here for?
Smoking a cigarette.
Ogletree, thank you for the 9 months, bro. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna
Thank you,
watch
thank you,
this
thank you.
case.
You got
Or no,
another one
yours
on
was
you?
12. Gold Queens was for 9.
Yeah, I do actually. Here.
Another
Give me
one.
Another one.
Thank you.
Ogletree, thank you for the 12 months. Gold Queen, thank you for the
Don't
9.
ask for a lot. I ain't got one.
No, I appreciate it.
Love you.
I didn't catch your name, Mr. Attorney. What's your name?
You give me a
Harvey.
cigarette or a cigar?
A cigarette.
So, I don't think so.
Attorney Harvey.
Harvey Specter.
Okay.
That was Tara.
I think I've heard your name thrown around out there, you know, on the streets. I say you're a pretty good guy.
Yeah, they call me the janitor.
Why? You're just cleaning this place up.
I mop
Clean
the
up the streets.
floors with the state, typically.
Put old Trump through the ringer.
No, Trump's pretty good. Trump's pretty good. Bored to death!
Turn down for what?
Bored to death. What up, bro? Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You don't like the
How
brown
you
coat, is that
doing,
what
you
you-
little... You like the brown coat?
I mean, do you not like it?
Oh, I mean, I just didn't know why you liked it. Like, in case you, like, fell in poop or something. It didn't show up as bad.
Do you know why the French wore brown?
Because they were scared of the red coats?
No, because when they crapped their pants, you couldn't tell.
Oh, so I was close.
Well, it would have been a red coat with the British when they get shot. You couldn't see the blood, but yeah, it's similar.
No, I meant the first time whenever I said because if you fall in crap, it won't show up as easy.
Yeah, but if I fall in crap, I'm not the one actually crapping myself.
Well, yeah, but if you fall like just your torso in it, I mean, that's better than crapping your own self, right?
Is it? Is one self-defecation better than falling in?
Well, I
another
think if I
person's
fell in
defecate?
crap, then I would take my coat off and burn it.
Yep.
If I crap myself,
Yep.
then
Would you just take the diaper off?
well, I don't wear diapers.
Oh, I did. I
Do
thought that's where
you?
were going with that. No, that's why I got black pants on.
Well, what's the black pants have to do with poop?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm confused. Anthony's poop. What up?
Yeah, you got me too.
Oh, Shay was in here earlier.
Time's this court case start?
Oh, yeah, 10 o'clock. Oh,
Another half hour.
you're 25% of the way to completing your sub goal. I didn't even notice that it gave, like, updates. Yeah, but it's fun to make you think you are. If his poop is black, you may have an upper GI. Well, I mean, that's good to know. Okay. All right, I got a meeting. Randy!
What up? What up?
How goes it?
She goes.
All right. So what do you got? What do you got? What's your defense?
Wow, for 4 hours that this is going to be, the defense is going to be, I'm going to throw a lot of objections out. I'm just going to try and get them to stop talking as much as possible.
Fantastic. Mine is they didn't comply with the E&W.
Oh, which parts?
They didn't give us the search warrant affidavit. We have no idea what the probable cause was for them to even search our client's house.
Beautiful. They also said that. Oh, hold on. Let me get this right. Oh, when we went to go into when Ryder got fired, they said that he had sold to a gang 2 months ago. That's not listed anywhere in there. They said that was what kicked all of this off, was that he was selling to a gang. They didn't list that information anywhere in the E&W.
Is it even in the report?
Not that I can find.
Because I know on on the report, starts out on September 13th, and it just basically says that they petitioned the courts to search his home due to allegations of him selling police equipment. Ouch.
Oh, my bad. They said, yeah, that's where it kicks off, and it was said in person at that meeting that he was 2 months ago. What kicked it off was that he sold to a gang. They didn't tell us which gang, if it even happened, or tell us the name of who saw it, or of who he sold to in the gang.
It also says, yeah, that's how it starts out. Is they just did a search warrant. That's how the report starts out.
I also think they took the last case that you had, where you embarrassed the state.
Oh yeah, they
Instead
took
of,
it
you know,
all the way out of context.
Oh, yeah, and instead of, making some policies, they just recorded, or they just body cammed literally everything they could and submitted, trying to bury us in paperwork.
All right, I think I got something. Jesus. Corey. McMash Boom, what up? Corey. I think I got something here. September 13th, they conducted a search warrant. September 14th, found police issued equipment in search warrant of house. 14th, search warrant of house. 14th, search warrant of house. 15th, search warrant. 15th, search warrant. Says on September 13th, they conducted a search warrant. There's only one search warrant. And once they serve it, they can't use that same search warrant to keep going back. This is what happened the last time. Joe Dierte, thank you so much for the tier 1 for 4 months. All right, come here, buddy. I got a little surprise.
Okay.
this? Oh,
And this is that new stash they were talking about.
I see. All right, all right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right. So if you look at the search or the report that they typed up, the opening line, what's it say?
Stand by. On 9/13, Sergeant T-Pain conducted a search warrant of Ryder's house.
Okay, stop right there.
Such a post.
So
Yeah.
what it says on 9/13 they conducted a search warrant, correct, at the house?
Yeah, but in the report doesn't it say the 14th?
Yeah, and the 15th.
How does that work?
It
I thought
doesn't.
you could only have.
They'd have to.
Okay, so
they
we're on
would
the
have-
same page.
Yeah, that's illegal. Once they serve the search warrant, they just can't continuously keep going back. Once they leave the property, everything's done. They'd have to get another search warrant to go back and do it again on the 14th. Once they leave and come back, they'd have to have another search warrant for the 15th.
Okay, this is
good.
wow. The very first line of this is fantastic.
Oh. All right, so basically, I'm just gonna sit back while they're doing the questioning. If you want to, do like the objections and stuff like that, feel free.
Yeah.
And then whenever we'll let them go through whoever they need to go through, because we have the same witness list as them.
Fantastic.
And we can just call them back up, especially T-Pain, since he's the looks like he's the prime investigator. I haven't seen any other reports from anybody else.
No, yeah, it's looking like it's just T-Pain. You take lead on this, and I'll straight up call out objections, and whatever else.
Yeah, just run the objection whenever they're doing. I don't know honestly that I'll cross really unless something comes up that spikes my interest.
Yeah. It looks like we have what we need just off the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there's a couple of crimes that he could probably be found guilty of, but all the search warrant stuff, not so much.
I know it showed up, or we talked about it briefly. They searched his house one day and then said they still need to search his car, his boat, and all that other stuff. Does that still stick with the first search warrant, or do they have to perform it all at once?
Yeah, I mean, if...
Sir, how you doing?
Oh, hello.
Spiffy jacket you got on there.
Oh, thank you. Are you the defendant?
Yes, sir. Ryder Rottenbauer.
All right, fantastic. We were just talking about some stuff we might have found.
Oh, more than what you found already?
Yeah, just being here.
Okay.
So looks like that according to T-Pain, they served a search warrant on the 13th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they also say that they searched your property on the 14th and the 15th.
Well, they only searched it 2 days in a row, so maybe they obtained the search warrant on the 13th, actually searched the house on the 14th, and then the 15th they searched through the cars and the boat.
Okay. Well, it says his report states that they served it on the 13th.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to, either lied in his report or he's going to lie in court.
Yeah, because they only searched it 2 days. So it was
Chris.
the first day they searched the house, and then the next day they searched through the cars and the boat.
I just think it's kind of odd. Like, I don't understand why a police officer wouldn't have police equipment at home.
Well, and that was my thought. Like, I was still employed. So I had all my stuff at the house, and
Oh, he did. He did
that
have
way
blood
I
on
can
it.
grab it when I was heading off to work. You know.
Yeah, that's where you get ready at. Typically, you go.
Exactly. So like I don't know why I wouldn't have it at home, and they're trying to say that I'm not supposed to, but I mean I read through it.
Freeze. Yeah, they went
SCP
3 times
multiple
according
times.
to his
Even
report.
when they brought me in to question me, they tried finding something in the SOP and they couldn't.
So conducted a
I don't
search
have any
warrant
idea why I wouldn't be able to.
on this day, on the 13th. On the 14th, they found police-issued equipment in search warrant of the house. On the 14th, found police-issued equipment in search warrant of house. On the 14th, MK2 pistol in search warrant of the house. On the 15th, found in car during search warrant. 15th, found in car during search warrant. All right, so our game plan here is while they're questioning, I'm just going to kind of sit back and listen. If any objections are to be made, he's gonna make the objections. We may or may not cross depending on what comes up. That way we can get them up there and start hammering the questions that we want to ask.
Evening, gentlemen.
Mr. Freeze, how's it going?
Mr. Hugh.
Not too bad, not too bad.
How you doing, friend?
Oh, here to support you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, these guys will take good care of you.
Well, you said they were the best, so hopefully.
Oh yeah, they are. They're better than I am, I can tell you that.
Oh, no. Let's not get carried away.
Better trial lawyers. I'm not a good trial lawyer. Behind the
I
scenes,
haven't
I'd be
looked
great.
at who's fighting this for us? Do we know? I haven't looked at the docket.
You mean the state? I think.
Yeah.
I think it's McBilk.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got a report that says that they served a search warrant on the 13th and the 14th and the 15th. But we only have one search warrant.
Yeah, and I can speak to part of that because I was present for when they searched the vehicles.
Which would have been
And
on
it
the
was
15th.
it was like a couple days later, wasn't it? Do you remember what day it was?
I
when
don't,
they
I
called
don't
us
recall
out?
the exact date. I thought it was the next day after they searched the house.
Might have been, yeah. The next day or the day after, at least. It was close.
And then also the state did not comply with the terms of the E&W. They didn't give us everything that we need. They kind of left out the search warrant affidavit.
they 100% did. And correct me if I'm wrong, when a cop goes undercover, even though they're undercover, they're not allowed to commit any illegal acts, correct?
It depends.
Because they're charging our client with having loads, right? Benzos and whatever. But he was actively buying them. And there's even at one point he says, I tried to grab a baton from Mr. Rottenborough, and that would be the definition of entrapment.
Entrapment is giving them the means to commit the crime, like saying, like, hey, you in your car, you go down there and you speed as fast as you can this way, and I'm gonna see how like what my radar shows, and then pulling them over and writing them a ticket or taking them to jail for reckless driving. So you're basically helping them commit the crime to take them into custody or something like that.
Right. And T-Pain says, I asked him for a baton to kill locals when they robbed me. And I'm assuming they're using that evidence as he was getting rid of police equipment. However, batons are craftable in this.
Well, even then, I never sold him a baton. I told him, other ways to do it. Go down, get a bat, or, pull your firearm out and shoot the local.
Yeah, no, they put so much in here, they've kind of sewered themselves. So I'm going to let, the one and only Harvey Specter.
I mean, I'll ask some questions if you have other questions you want to add. But I mean, you're obviously going to have the ability to ask those questions. So if it like slips my mind, or if I don't ask something that you thought of, by all means ask it.
Even then,
for sure.
I never dealt with any loads or anything like that. Like, that was nothing that I dipped into at all.
Perfect. I'm not worried. We'll make sure that they actually get here.
I mean, there's obviously, I mean, we can definitely go different angles on a lot of things to try to put some sort of doubt in the judge's mind that you were actually the one that committed some of these crimes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of doubt. I don't think.
Durs, thank you so much for the 11 months. I appreciate you. Thank you for the 11 months of love and support.
At least not in my eyes. I was an officer, so I had, my equipment, which they said that I stole, but it was all police issued that they gave me and said, this is yours, take care of it. Stuff like that. So I don't really know as far as what they plan on using against me.
I mean, really the only thing that I could see possibly, I mean, I understand that somebody else could have put it in your vehicle, is the candy, being in possession of it.
Right.
And then obviously with that would come the malfeasance part.
Right. Well, yeah. I
But
mean,
like the weapons, all that stuff, like I just.
They said that the malfeasance was because I didn't stop a gentleman from putting another guy down, while I was off duty. But then it's like, they don't want me to have any police equipment, so what? They want me to go up there with my hands and tell them not to do it? Like, I don't know what they wanted me to do there.
Well, we're gonna do our best with everything that that we were given.
Right.
Definitely gonna do our best with the one thing that we weren't given. That's the affidavit for the search warrant, which shows the probable cause for obtaining the search warrant.
Right, yeah. All I saw was the search warrant. It says what they wanted the search warrant for, but it doesn't have any probable cause on there.
Mm-hmm.
although like I think this all started with the IA investigation because I was dating a couple of girls at the time, and one of them had 1,300 baggies on her when we got pulled over, and I was in the car. And so they started an IA investigation, you know. But they
Woods, thank you for the gifted sub. I
they could've
appreciate you.
taken
Thank you, thank you,
bags that
thank
they
you for the
found in
gifted
my
sub.
car.
Colton, big boy, thank you for the 20 months, my guy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Woods, thank you so much.
So how do you feel about it tonight, guys?
I think this is going to be another big loss for the state's attorney's office.
I think
Get this guy reinstated to LSPD by the end of it, you think?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but we're gonna do our best to get everything out for sure.
I really would like to get reinstated. You know,
he's a good man. He was a good cop, man.
Yeah, I think with the candy, that was found in the vehicle, right, on a search warrant.
right? Yeah.
Okay, so then we could probably get it thrown out because it was 2 days after they said they served the search warrant.
Yeah, there's also the possibility that somebody else put it in his car without his knowledge, proving it's his just because it's in his car. I mean, circumstantially, maybe, but
Yeah,
I mean, that's not proof.
That's what I was saying. They could probably say, yeah, it was in your car. I mean, that's basically, constructive possession or whatever, because it's registered to him, all that stuff. But I think with the search warrant, how they served it, I mean, by law, they can't do that. If they're going to have a search warrant, they need to have all the searching done the day that they serve the search warrant, or go back and type another one for the next day. They can't use the same search warrant numerous times.
Right.
Freeze, this is kind of our game plan. Like I'm basically gonna let them ask their people whatever questions they need. Partner here is gonna object when he sees the objections fit, and basically let them blow through their witness list, and then we're gonna go back and hammer them.
Sounds good to me. I'm going to stay in the DOJ radio. If we get any other cases that are going to come up during the thing, you guys can stay out of it so you aren't distracted by it. I'll answer any of that might be going on, and that way you guys aren't distracted.
Okay, we might get some of this stuff thrown out on the off the rip once we get ready to start.
Yep,
that'd be great.
Because I mean, that's gonna. I think we should probably meet with the judge prior to any opening statements, all that stuff, and disclose the search warrant and the lack of the state's part on providing us with everything possible to review the case.
I'm in agreement with that.
All right, I'm gonna go up there and talk to the judge real quick, see if he can ask us to come up there before we start.
See, I like you. Get up here. Bring it in. Actually, hug it out. I like you.
Hey, Your Honor.
Yeah, you want me to give you?
How's it going today?
Oh, fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Hey, prior to opening statements, can we have a little sidebar with the state and us and yourself to go over something?
Sure. I mean, if you're ready to have it now, I think the
Are you
attorneys are here.
Yeah, I think we're ready to get it rolling.
All right, state's attorneys on this case, if you want to step forward. We're gonna have a quick sidebar before trial starts.
Let's see what happens, chat.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. Whatever needs to be discussed.
Okay, Your Honor, just a few things. As far as everything being submitted in E&W, the defense was not supplied with the search warrant affidavit.
Search warrant affidavit is also in the docket, sir. There was
I
a
see the
mix-up in the
search
search
warrant.
warrant in that I've supplied the wrong link in the E&W.
I see the search warrant. I don't see
figured
the
that out
search
today
warrant
as I was
affidavit.
going and looking through it. But the search warrant itself could be.
I see the
court
search warrant itself. I don't see the search warrant affidavit.
Search warrant affidavit.
Yeah, the thing that the officer types up to show probable cause for the search warrant.
Somewhere.
I do not have it in my possession.
Scared me.
I'm looking.
Rough
at
Diamond,
it.
thank you so much for the
I'm looking
10
at
bomb,
the
baby. I
docket
appreciate
right
you.
now,
Thank you
sir,
very
for
much for the 10 gifted
so-
subs to the fam. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't have the search warrant affidavit. Just the search warrant itself.
Okay. Can I go to the next thing, Your Honor?
Yeah, I mean, do you have an argument on that?
Or
yeah, let's go to the next thing, and then if you want to do a global argument.
Yeah, I mean, I
that's
think
fine.
this will encompass a lot of the
Nick,
same
put that
things.
cigarette out in the courtroom right now.
Also, I was while reviewing the officer's report, he said that they served the search warrant on the 13th. It appears that they only had one search warrant, and they went back on the 14th and the 15th. So I would ask that anything found after the first service of the search warrant be thrown out due to, I mean, obviously there's some civil rights stuff that goes into play with that.
Are you formally issuing a motion to suppress?
Yeah.
Argument
Hammer,
is
think for the-
on that one. I think I know what happened with that. I think it was a judge that signed it.
Thank you for the raid.
Well,
I
just the
appreciate you, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tater Tot, thank you for the 8 months.
As far as I'm aware,
Hammer, I hope you had a
State-
fantastic
state
stream,
has no
baby. I
objection,
appreciate
Your
you.
Honor.
Corn Dog, thank you for the 26 months.
you know, everything that was pulled in that I have was pulled in listed off of the first search warrant, and that was the only search warrant I had a copy of.
Okay, so
If there was another search warrant, I'm unaware of it. I also have the video evidence from the first search warrant going to the cars, as well as the search of the residence. I do know that there was a search of the cars. I'm not sure if it took place afterwards or if it took place a day later. But I know
yeah,
that
I think that's what happened because I don't think the defendant was in city, so I think the second day was the cars off the same search warrant.
Just so we're all on the same page, I mean, I'll read the first line of T-Pain's report. It says on September 13th, he conducted a search warrant at the house, 2674 Kimball Hill Drive, postal 6065. Gives a little brief synopsis of hearsay about petitioning to the courts. It says on the 14th, found police issued equipment in search warrant of the house. Theft of government property, September 14th. Found issued equipment in search warrant of house. Felon in possession, September 14th. found in search warrant of house. 15th found in car. 15th found in car. So the opening line of his report states that he conducted a search warrant on the 13th, and then the next day was at the house recovering property. The day after, recovering property out of vehicles.
All right, response from the state on that. You said you had no objections. Does that change anything?
Do you have a list of the property that was seized on the dates listed?
I would if he put it in his report.
As far as I'm concerned, we did do a seizure, search and seizure affidavit that showed what was taken in the first search, or the search warrant I have a copy of.
The 15th, it looks like, was some illegal substances. The 14th, the MK2 pistol, police issued equipment, and that's basically all it says in the report.
Is that seizure form in your E&W list?
Yes, Your Honor, it is. Should be States Exhibit. Forfeiture and seizure reporting form.
So the issue I have with this
And the date
form,
of seizure was 9/15/2024.
Yeah, so I don't. Hold on, let me look at this closer.
Oh, chat, this might be really good.
But you said the report does list things that were taken off the first search warrant. Is that correct?
Following evidence was found in Ryder's house: pepper spray, flashlight, spike strips, heavy armor, evidence bags, empty, antidote, body cam, everything that it looks like that he was issued. But all that property is also inclusive of the stuff that was taken on the 14th and 15th. So it doesn't necessarily say that it was found on the 13th.
We do have video. We do have BWC footage from that day of what exactly was taken.
Does it have a day and time stamp on it?
I believe it does. In just a second. It should be in the judge's chambers. – 9/13/24.
So is there video of the searches on the 14th and the 15th as well?
There is a video of the search on the 15th.
But not one of the 14th.
The video on the 15th is the video of them going to the car lot down the street from LSPD and getting him to put his vehicles out, which was included in the Freeze was at that one.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Yeah, so it looks like it was just basically police equipment that was taken on the first one, based on his body cam. Okay, so I will. Any other argument from either side before I make my ruling, or do you have any other motions?
I would just motion that anything found on the 14th and the 15th be suppressed.
I would make the argument that on the 15th that we can't. We that was the day that he had to come in the city, and we had the warrant to get that.
Yeah, but the search warrant was served on the 13th, Your Honor. They would have needed a second
But
search warrant after the service of the first one.
the first warrant was a no-knock warrant. He wasn't in city on the first warrant, and we couldn't get access to his vehicles. And his vehicles were included in the search warrant on the first one. And it's a lot more difficult to go and get, trying to find a judge to pin down to get the search warrant a second time.
Was the contact attempted prior to the search warrant?
I do not know.
Because I would make
that. I was not the officer on scene. I was just.
Your Honor, I'd make the argument that if they tried to contact him prior to serving the warrant, then they would know that he wasn't available, and they have days to wait.
We can ask the witness.
So I'm pretty sure I approved them to use the same search warrant on the cars, the later date. The only concern I have is if they research the house. But I'll allow the search warrant for the cars to stand. But if they did find anything in the house that second time, that will be suppressed because the house shouldn't have been searched the second time.
Okay.
If the house was searched the second time, it's news to me because I asked them about it and I asked if they went back, and they said they didn't. So.
What Nixon meant to say was, do you smell what the rock is?
The only other question I have is why the officers or somebody hadn't obtained the search warrant affidavit for us to review as well.
Yeah, I do have concerns about the search warrant affidavit
Because as of now, I don't know if the search warrant was signed and they're. I mean, I understand that the judges have a difficult job, but if there wasn't probable cause to search the residence, because what I've read is that the way that this search warrant was obtained was through allegations.
State, can you go back there and see if in the FBI or the state police?
His name's Ryan Rottenbach. He's a LSPD officer. Yo, making whoopee with the 1,500 biddies, bro. Making whoopee. Thank you for the 1,500 biddies. T. Custer, thank you for the 3-month resub, baby. I appreciate you. You guys are legends. That's just so y'all know, that's not how search warrants work. If you serve it, you serve it. You can't go back with the same one.
They issued the affidavit, Your Honor. It should be in the court case.
All right, perfect. All right, if you just want to review that, and if you have any objections after reviewing that, I'm not going to keep out the search warrant just because the affidavit wasn't included, even though it should have been. Now, if you want to argue about the affidavit, that's fine, but
Bro, this is 5 pages long. I mean, I'll just take the word that it's in there. I mean, it's 5 pages long. It would have been nice to have that to review prior to the court case.
I agree with you.
No, I agree, but I did know that I saw that, so I don't think it was on the state's part. They were trying to withhold that or anything. I think it was just missed with all the other evidence. Any other motions from either side?
Let's just see what happens, I guess. Babysitter, thank you for the 12 months. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, we will go back. If you want to go back to your seat, we will start.
That's crazy, bro. 5 pages long, and we just now get it. That's absolutely asinine.
Over here or over here? Sorry, seat's taken.
Oh, perfect. Scooch over, Ashley.
Oh my god.
Have I ever had to do a search warrant? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's about to.
Other side over here.
I mean, there's so much that, like,
Air squats.
it should be...
Does that guy have issues over there? I think so.
I think his
All right,
batteries are dead.
welcome everyone.
In the megaphone.
Just a few housekeeping things before we start. Reminder, everyone should have been searched on the way in. No weapons, anything like that. Also, no hats and no masks if you're in the courtroom.
It's been continued like 3 times. I honestly just want to get this.
All right, this time we're going to call the criminal case versus Rottenbauer.
ABC, that's
17046, 1865. The defendant is charged with malfeasance, conspiracy to commit, aiding and abetting, grand larceny, fraud, felon in possession of firearm, theft of government property, possession of a controlled substance, Schedule 2, and trafficking narcotics, 2nd degree. How does your client plead?
not guilty, Your Honor.
Alright, thank you. We will continue the trial then. Both sides want to introduce themselves, starting with the state.
Hi, my name is Angus McWilk. I'm the state's attorney for San Andreas under the Attorney General Donald Trump.
Alright, thank you. State defense.
Harvey Specter, Your Honor.
Randy, let me hear you. Wants to say his name for the
wrong
record.
one.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear him because he didn't have a microphone.
I gave it short a microphone.
No, you're good. And then the defendant.
Right, Rottenbauer.
Alright, thank you. Alright, we will start with the state for their opening statement.
Here, I'll get one from...
It takes a great deal of trust in order to be a police officer. And whenever you are a police officer, that trust you, the public gives you that trust. However, whenever you betray that trust, it is something that is unnatural and is, in a simpler word, betrayal. Today we are here to look at the case delivered to us by Ryder Rottenbauer, and we will determine that all the evidence will point to him being guilty of the aforementioned crimes that the judge has stated. Prosecution is ready to go, Your Honor.
Freeze, do you have
Alright,
another
thank
one of
you.
those?
State defense, your opening statement.
Sorry, what was that?
You have another microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Your Honor, what you're going to hear is about a loan officer who was wrapped up in a bad relationship and got targeted by his fellow employees. They didn't like his girlfriend. She was a criminal, so they targeted the officer that was dating her.
All right, thank you, defense. State your opening witness or evidence.
State calls
Ryan Rottenbaugh.
All right, Mr. Payne, if you want to go a step forward. Oh, other side. Yep, perfect.
Got to get to the point.
All right, if you raise both your
Yeah,
arms.
Ryder.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and
The
nothing but the
defense
truth?
attorney's name's Ryan.
I do.
I'm getting
State
them
your name for the
confused.
record.
T. Payne, Master Sergeant.
All right, thank you, Master Sergeant Payne. Your witness state.
Mr. Payne, who's your current employer?
San Andreas State Police, CID Division.
Excellent. And tell me,
Though, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate you.
what
Thank you.
factors
Thank you.
go into an investigation that involves a law enforcement officer?
Just it's kind of like most any other cases, the who, why, what, when, where, how.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that
A lot of
sparkles.
secrecy due to the sensitive nature of the investigations and our abilities to know which officers are around us and things like that.
And tell me, why is state brought in rather than LSPD?
We've had a case prior to that involving.
It's difficult.
Cases
Like
involving not necessarily officers involving officers, but
if I was to ever be like a
just
for
something
real
happened to
attorney,
our colonel, and
I would want to be on
it's like,
prosecution.
why
I can't
wouldn't we
stand
have
defending
someone else
turds.
investigate this? That way, there's no bias.
I see. So, with that in mind, tell us what tipped you off that the defendant is about the defendant's well-being, like with
What really drew myself into the case, it got a CI, just starting out selling drugs, and we ended up able to nap him and flip him, and you know, the next day or later that day, he came to us and said, "Hey, I got a cop, and you know, he had pulled out his MDT, did the searching for warrants, and some other accusations were ensued with that."
And tell us, is it what is an MDT?
Mobile data
So
terminal.
MDT is a device that officers and I believe the DOJ has access to as well. That we can look up basically anyone's information, anyone's record, you know, what they've done, you know, in the past, usually not the best behavior or criminal behavior.
I see. So, what is a CI as well? Clue me in. I'm dumb. Don't.
Okay. So a CI is a confidential informant. Usually, if we can get someone to flip or someone that wants to be on, you know, helpful to law enforcement, but maybe not in law enforcement, and can kind of get in and get us information where a law enforcement agent might not be able to get into, and they typically stay confidential. We don't bring them out to protect their well-being.
And tell me, so they're criminals.
They don't always have to be, but typically,
Charger,
you know,
a
you might get someone
ex-police
low line.
officer.
Usually, we don't like to deal with, you know, heavy-ended criminals. But if you get someone doing, you know, some candy sales or whatever, I don't want X, Y, and Z on my record. You know, what can I do? And then, you know, you work different deals out, DOJ and the department, and get them to work for you guys.
Okay. How long was this investigation into Mr. Rottenbauer conducted?
It started, I would say, about August 4th for myself.
August 4th for you.
And the reason I say just for me is because LSPD said that they had done prior investigation on him.
Okay. So, tell me, in the course of your investigation, what did you find?
We mainly found a person that wanted to be an officer, but has
Little David, what up? No
done
internet?
things
I feel you, bro.
against our policies and encouraged bad behaviors and neglected to arrest people around him doing, bad behaviors like we are supposed to, stated in our policy.
Isn't it true that, let me rephrase, the job of a police officer is to protect the innocent, correct? To protect the people.
It's to protect, yes, the people, anyone, even if they're criminal, we'll protect them.
Did the defendant himself exhibit this behavior?
In my point of view, he seemed to want to help, I would say himself, and kind of hint himself up, if you get the lingo.
All right. So
speculation.
You have video journals that has been submitted to the court. It would be States Exhibit. Hold on, just a second. Let me see here. States Exhibit 2B, which is a video of the defendant sitting by as you're being held at gunpoint.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that situation?
So, I guess the group he's involved with, after further investigation, they were all felons for the most part. They were all running around with guns, playing with guns, doing typical bad behavior, I would assume. And, grabbing people, putting guns to their heads, playing around. And I just so happened to get scooped up in that. And he wanted to see what would happen. And he put me down.
The defendant did, or?
It was a Marlon Fisher.
Marlon Fisher. Continue.
Yep, so he put me down.
What are we talking about here?
And he said he just wanted to see what it would do, and I believe, don't 100% quote me on this, but I believe he was, Ryder was sitting in a chair at the time, or was right in the general area, and just stood there and
objection, Your Honor.
Chatting.
What's the objection about?
What's the objection?
He's speculating that our client was even there. He doesn't know.
Sustained.
Oh, he was there. He's in the video.
Sustained based on what you previously had said.
Thank you.
If you want to ask the question a different way, you can.
What? Were you shot?
Yes.
Was the defendant nearby?
Yes.
Did he witness it?
Yes.
What did he do?
Your Honor, objection.
What's the objection?
He just said the defendant was there. In his previous testimony, he stated he didn't know if he was there.
Yep. If I may.
I'll take that for the weight of the evidence. Objection overruled. Go ahead. You may finish your answer.
Wait a second, finish what I was saying.
Yes.
Oh, I was stating that, just to clarify that, I didn't know if he was sitting in a chair or standing there. But he was there.
And
I'm
what
pretty
did
sure he
do?
just said, "Don't quote me on."
Was just talking.
He continued like there was nothing going on?
Yes.
Did he rush you to the hospital?
No, my perpetrator took me to the hospital.
Marlon took you to the hospital?
Yes.
So you had to be rushed to the hospital by the person who shot you?
Yes.
And not by the police officer who was there?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about the search of his home. What did you find?
Just a second. Alright, so we found... Let's see here, this is 8 heavy armors, police issued heavy armor, 30 evidence bags, antidote spray, Here we go. Alright, pepper spray, one-time pepper spray, a flashlight, 2 spike strips, 8 heavy body armor, 30 evidence bags, 1 antidote, 1 body cam, 9 taser cartridges, his weapons license, which at the time he was a felon, so we seized that, and a MK2 pistol, which at the time he was a felon, so we seized that as...
Alright. And based off of the investigation, because I assume the search warrant was carried out at the end of your investigation.
Yes.
Was it not? Good. Alright. What probable cause did you have to search his house?
We got multiple reports, of people coming forward to LSPD,
What else?
from his ex-girlfriend and different people that he hang out with, but basically that he had police equipment and was selling it.
He was selling it?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Are officers supposed to take their police issue equipment home?
Of course. What?
Or not? Is it generally legal to have automatic carbines and rifles in a citizen's possession in town?
Like a police issued one? No.
Okay. What are officers supposed to do with their equipment?
They're supposed to secure it in their locker at their respective headquarters.
And if they don't, what becomes of them?
If they... You repeat the question?
I've got some questions.
What happens if they don't?
Yeah, I got a few too.
Yeah, I'm going at this.
Reprimand and such. I'm not 100% sure like the legal ramifications. I just know that it just says reprimands and different things like that.
Alright. Let's go to the search of the vehicles. You conducted a search of the vehicles on the 15th, correct?
Yes.
And he
PJ.
had quite a few vehicles listed in his possession, did he not?
Yes.
What did you find?
Mainly we found in one of his vehicles, we found 400 bags of candy.
400 bags of candy.
The bad candy.
And was he aware that it was in there?
Well, when we got to that car and I had went into that vehicle and I said, "Oh, what's all this candy doing in here?" He said something along the lines of, "Oh." So I would assume he forgot that was it. But
So it
that's
had
just
probably been
assumption.
in there for a while.
Speculation.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, State Defense.
Mr. Payne, how we doing?
Doing pretty good, sir. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. Would you say that everything that you put in your police report is of the utmost importance and true and accurate statement?
Everything is true and accurate as far as importance to the case. I just try to keep a general detailed log of most of everything I can, just because, people say details matter.
Okay, so is it fair to say that you may have left some details out then?
Oh, no, I was saying that some things might have been a little overkill.
So you left things out of your report you didn't think were important to...
No, it's in the report, but I'm saying that it might have been overkill, like, hey...
Oh, so you're saying you put too much in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand now. Have you arrested every single person that you have seen break the law?
For the most part, we do. There are some discretions.
Have you arrested every person that you've seen break the law?
No.
Did you say no?
Correct.
So it's common not to arrest someone for breaking the law if you have, you have a little leeway whenever you arrest somebody, is that correct?
We have leeway with misdemeanors.
Okay.
As stated by the DOJ.
Whenever you stated you got shot by Mr. Fisher, were there any other officers on scene?
No. Just myself and Mr. Ryder.
Okay. Did you arrest Marlon Fisher?
Not yet.
You said he took you to the hospital, but you did. How long ago was this?
It was in August.
So Marlon Fisher shot you in August and you still haven't arrested him?
Objection, Your Honor. There's no statute of limitations on this kind of felony.
I would have to say that pending cases are classified.
Objection's overruled, but we're not going to go too far down this road.
Okay, that's just all I wanted to know is if you had arrested him for shooting you yet.
Okay.
The evidence that you recovered on the... Well, let's talk about the search warrant for a second. What day did you serve it?
We had to do a two-part for the search warrant due to it was a no-knock, and we obviously have the phone number. And we called him, no answer. Went to his house.
My question is, what day did you serve the search warrant? You could talk about the first part of it, like what day.
I got you.
Trey, what up, bro? Doing good. Doing good. Just trying to battle this case.
Sorry, I'm just sifting through my notes here.
If it would help your memory, you can check your report if you need to. Fast traveler with the
So the
raid.
second part was served on the 15th. As far as the first part, I'm just drawing a blank on that date.
Okay, would you agree that in your report, the very first sentence, it states that on 9/13 you served the search warrant?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell me what you did on 9/14?
9/14, I believe I was out of city.
Okay. And you stated that everything in your report is true and correct. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So could you tell me why in your report that it states on 9/14 that you were at the residence collecting evidence?
Claire? I would assume I see 9/13 is when we served the first part, and then the 15th would be when we had the lawyers and we did the second part. Just by video timestamps.
Okay. Yeah, so under your charges it says 9/14 you found police equipment in the search warrant of a house. Theft of government property, 9/14/24, found police issued equipment in search warrant of house. Felon in possession of firearm, 9/14, found pistol MK2 in search warrant of house.
Your Honor, if the defense wants a complete list, it is listed out in the EWC footage in the record and is submitted as state's evidence.
I'm just trying to find out why there's two different.
So, like, the MDT has the 13th, but it was filed on the 15th. So, I mean, they were all done, and there's all video evidence of it.
I understand that. I'm just trying to figure out why that the three of those dates are 9/14.
Well, and then if you look at, I would say sometimes, like this report was written close to midnight.
So were you tired whenever you were writing this report?
No, I'm just saying, you get 11:30 and then you get to 12, different times.
Where was the evidence in the house found at?
Let's see.
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
This is my job as a public defender, is to try to poke holes and stuff. Like, I'm not being a jerk to this dude. Like, I'm just trying to, it's real, like, it's fun to, like, throw questions at these people that get asked in real court cases, bro. Just and it's all to make them better. It really is. Yeah. We can come back to that one. Do you know who collected all the evidence?
It was myself and I don't have that at this time. I know it's in the video as well.
Which part? The where it was found or who collected it?
Both.
Okay. Do you remember who went with you?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, and you said that that your probable cause for the search warrant was you said that you had some people come forward. Is that correct? And just numerous people tell you that he was selling police items.
Yes.
Okay. Did you actually see him sell any police items?
No.
Did your CI buy any police items from him?
No.
So you're saying that you got your search warrant off of third-party information that you didn't corroborate?
We did our best to cooperate and had reasonable suspicion.
What do you have to get a search warrant? Probable cause or reasonable suspicion?
I would say, sorry about that. Sorry, my bad. I would say it depends on the situation. So.
I would disagree with you.
Okay.
It's always probable cause. Just so you, moving forward, you know that.
Okay.
I want to go so bad with. Is it illegal to have police as a police officer? Is it illegal to have police items at your house?
It is against policy.
So it's not against the law.
I would assume not.
Is it uncommon for a police officer to take their police items to their house?
I couldn't say. Myself, I do not.
Your Honor, that's all the questions that I have. I think co-counsel has some.
All right, co-counsel, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Payne. Or, sorry, I forgot your rank. You said
Master Sergeant.
Master Sergeant. Hello, Master Sergeant Payne. First off, thank you.
Yeah, but that's why I asked if it was
everything
against
you've
the
done for
law.
this great city. It is, clearly noted.
It may be against policy, but it's not against the law.
First couple questions. I only have a few questions that I want to ask in regards to your CI.
Yeah, policy ain't the law.
Okay. Did he ask a question?
I didn't hear a question.
I'm just having a head issue at the moment. 1 second.
Who's the defendant? Ryder or Rotten Bottom or something. I don't know. His last name's long, bro.
Sorry about that. What can you tell me about the CI? How did you first come into
Rough
contact
Diamond, yeah.
with the CI that you had?
He was selling candy down at the beach with Marley Mullen.
Faith, no, different
And we got
guy.
a positive hand-to-hand. We ended up chasing them. They got away. I was at the LSPD station, and it was pulling out, and I seen the same exact car. And we pulled it over. Sure enough, it was them. We called for backup. The CI had got out, and she, sped away, and, he kind of gave himself up.
My dude, man, I feel bad for him.
Okay, so
I said, do you have to have
let's
reasonable
fast forward a little
suspicion
bit.
or probable
You've now
cause? He said,
arrested,
it
CI.
depends.
We're now in cells. Did you use in your report? It says
No, it don't.
that the CI was charged and pled
It does
guilty,
not depend.
and then became
It's
and then agreed
always
to become a CI.
probable cause.
Yes.
And was the CI promised any leniency in exchange for their cooperation?
Yes, eventually, upon fruition, he would be able to, get some expungements, and then with the introduction of a, dirty cop, there was some monetary things as well.
Okay. And has this CI ever been used in previous investigation?
No.
Faith, I do, bro.
Okay. When you were setting up this CI, did you receive? I don't see anything that says you received approval from a judge before using this individual as a confidential informant. Am I missing something?
We got approval from. We typically will go to our high command, and then it gets approved and such.
Okay. And is there documentation of that anywhere? I know it says that you had got it. You had got the.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That was just wanted to see who in high command approved the use of the CI.
Yeah, we had a conversation. Then we put in a CI form to have it all documented.
Faith, so this dude was on the last case.
And what safeguards
The
were put in
one,
place to ensure
the dirty
this
doctor
CI
one, he was on it too.
In fact,
He wasn't
reliable?
the primary, but he submitted all video footage,
CIs,
like hours and hours and hours.
We, say if
He was like, I don't want to be like the last one.
We're gonna come at you with a book. We're gonna, do our arrest warrant, search warrant, whatever we have to do, and put you behind bars.
Of course. And
There's not a lot in here.
In the documentation here, it states that you gave him a pair of FBI surveillance glasses. Is that correct?
Yes.
Was the CI given proper instructions on how to use them and everything like?
Yes, I coached him on that.
Okay, and you documented the time that he took the glasses, when he returned them, and the chain of custody that the glasses remained?
Yes, it's all in the video.
Just in the body-worn camera, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
All right, thank you.
Mike, yeah, that's, I mean...
State, any recross?
No, Your Honor, but the state does reserve the recall.
All right, you may step down, officer. Thank you for your testimony.
State calls Chris Good.
Yeah.
All right, Chris Good, step forward, please.
He had a ton.
Alright, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Alright, say your name for the record.
Chris Good.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Good. You may be seated or stay standing. State your witness.
Mr. Good, how many police corruption and malfeasance cases have you done?
This case will be my 7th.
Your Honor, I would like Mr. Agent Good to be declared an expert in malfeasance and corruption.
Response from the defense?
Your Honor, I would want to know how many of those 7 cases he's testified in.
Alright, so would you like to use him before you're on the witness?
You're my guest.
Mr. Good, out of those 7 cases, have you testified in any of them?
Yes, sir. One large case, unfortunately, most of these cases are not black and white. We've had several of the defendants deported, or they have fled the city before the trials occurred.
Okay, and the one case, how long ago was it?
That was in January of this year.
Do you remember which one of the 7 that case was for you?
Yes, sir. That was the State of San Andreas versus Elena Frost and Alex McCoy.
I mean, like, out of those 7, which number was it? 1, 2, 3?
That was number 3.
And how'd that turn out? Do you recall?
That was a hung jury.
Okay, Your Honor, I would object to that. At this point, I would say he's not an expert in testifying about malfeasance cases.
Your objection is noted for the record. It's going to be overruled, though. Mr.
One
King,
case, bro.
You were an expert witness on malfeasance. What was the other thing you said? Malfeasance and what state?
Corruption.
Malfeasance and corruption.
So 0 and 7.
How did you get involved with this case?
State Police CID reached out to me.
0 and 7.
And
Dark Rose, think of it a heart me.
why did they reach out to you specifically? Could they not handle it? Was it out of their grasp? I mean, can you give me some specifics on this?
Yeah, so they wanted technical expertise. We have the concealment devices that they ended up using, so we provided those, and then we also just gave general advice.
What kind of devices are these?
I pissed my pants a couple times. Does that mean I'm an expert?
Camera concealed inside.
Yeah.
Awesome, that sounds cool. What can you tell me about this case?
I mostly served as an advisor. We had a couple agents assigned to the case. State did maintain the lead, and I just helped answer questions as they came up. So I assisted with surveillance and, like I said, equipping them with the concealment devices, and then I did some interviews on September 2nd in the early morning hours.
And in your surveillance, give me just a second.
A time or two?
You have several
Trey, I heard that in Tommy's voice.
logs on this. One such log dates back to 8/26/24. Your Honor, state would like to admit state's evidence FBI CID logs labeled as state's 4A into evidence.
Defense?
I have no objection, Your Honor.
Those will be admitted.
All right. On, it looks like August 26th of 2024, we see a picture here of, it looks like a rider at the docks with the TV crew. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, sir. So on the 26th, at about 2200 hours Eastern time, myself and Special Agent Kennedy were conducting surveillance on the docks. At that point, at about 2200 hours is when we first spotted Ryder. We identified him based off past descriptions given by officers and some of the civilians that initially reported the misconduct. So based on those descriptions and clothing,
Blake, thank you for the 7
the
months,
clothing
man. I
items that they
appreciate you.
described,
Thank you.
we made a identification, which was later confirmed by the undercover.
Very good. And could you tell based on your demeanor what they were doing?
It looked like they were acting as a news crew. We were a good distance away, so although we were able to make that identification, we couldn't see much. It just depended on where they were at, elevation-wise.
Very good. Give me just a second here.
Bro, y'all are y'all are experts, bro. Steven, we're probably about to get our butt handed to us. On some, like, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, I mean, with the search warrant, like,
No further questions, Your Honor. Not at this time.
Thank you, State Defense.
Mr. Good, you stated that you were an advisor for this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. When requested.
And you also did surveillance. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The surveillance that you were talking about just now on the dock, you said that you believed it was the defendant just based off of his description. Is that right?
That's correct. Based off his past descriptions given by officers and the civilians that originally brought the misconduct claims up, we made a reasonable identification from a distance.
Okay. How far away were you?
I would have to estimate about 200 yards.
Okay. Were you using anything to enhance your image or eyesight?
Yes, we were using binoculars.
Okay. Was this subject in a vehicle?
No, they were out on foot around the trucking area.
Okay. And you said it was later confirmed to be him by someone else?
Yes.
Were they with you at the time?
Who with me?
The person that confirmed that the subject that you were seeing was the defendant.
No, it was documented in later notes, but it was the same outfit.
Okay, so the person that identified the defendant identified him off of his clothes?
It was... I can't speak to how they identified him.
So did they just say, yep, that's him?
Once again, I can't speak to how they identified him. I just know that they were able to corroborate it.
So you're saying it was the defendant based off of what somebody else told you, but you can't speak to how they told you it was him?
Oh, well, let me clarify here. So, we had some reports from civilians that we had beforehand. They were not present with us. After we made our identification from a distance, we had the undercover agent corroborate that identification. So that would be T-Pain.
Do what? I'm just trying to clarify this because that really hurt my head for a second. You had citizens tell you what he looked like, and then you observed the individual, and then Mr. Payne confirmed that it was the same individual?
That's correct.
Huh? Okay, and to your best knowledge, how did Mr. Payne identify that was?
To my best knowledge, it was through prior contacts, so voice recognition, appearance.
Okay. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. State your witness. Any redirect?
What did he just tell me?
All right. Agent Good. Based on your as an expert in
I don't even know what we just talked about. Who's your
malfeasance and corruption
dog?
cases,
Thank you for the 21. 21 months. Be more Becca. Thank you for the 7. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
this case, does this case stand out to you as a malfeasance and corruption case?
Corruption is a newer charge to our penal code, so I can't speak to the same degree of confidence as I can malfeasance. But based on past cases I've worked, as well as training and my experience, this pattern of behavior from our defendant does fit the same pattern as past defendants that I've gone up against.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Good. You may step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
State, any more witnesses?
Do you want to testify?
No, Your Honor. The state rest.
All right, thank you. Defense, any
Do you want to
witnesses?
testify?
Do you think I should? That's up to you guys. If you want to put me on the stand, then do it. But I don't know what, like,
Your Honor.
what's best.
Agent Good is good to excuse himself, correct?
Yep, thank you, Agent Good. You are good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good night.
Your Honor, I don't know if we did submit a witness list, but I mean, I'm not sure if our witness is here.
All right, who's your witness?
He would be the last one on our witness list. I think from the documents that were submitted, it would have been a Cletus Shaw.
All right, Cletus Shaw, are you in the courtroom?
That's the CI.
Could also testify. He was on their witness list, but they're not going to call him. Or right, doesn't look like they're going to call him.
All right, it appears Mr. Shaw is not in the courtroom.
It's up to you if you think you could say anything that.
Well, I mean, Tony has always been around with me, and like he can testify
Any
that I
other
haven't done
witnesses?
anything illegal around him.
Give us just 1 second, Your Honor.
Take your time.
That also being said, if you want to call me up there, I just don't know what they're going to ask me. You know?
Yeah, I'll call Tony up there.
Okay.
Your Honor, we'd like to call Tony Arch.
All right, Tony Arch, if you will step forward.
He's an officer, correct?
If you'll raise both arms. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Alright, state your name for the record.
Tony Arch.
Alright, thank you, Mr. Arch. Defense, your witness.
Good evening, Mr. Arch. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Mr. Arch, can you tell the court how you're employed?
Sure. I was employed through DOC for about the last month. Gave my resignation to DOC this previous weekend when I was advised that I was hired on as a cadet to LSPD.
Fantastic. And how do you know the defendant?
I met Ryder by being a trucker at the dock initially. That's where I first kind of came into contact with his name, seeing him on the radio down at the docks. We were closer together when we were both taken from Harmony as hostages for a bank robbery through the Green Book Club. That is where we got to know each other while we were on our hands and knees with our hands behind our head, hoping that we were going to make it out of there alive. And from that point forward, I would say that is where our relationship began.
Can you say how long have you known the defendant?
From continuously knowing him, I would say I met him back in maybe late July, early August. I would say, we had a bit of a falling out, so we're not in the same space that we were back then, but we've known each other probably since, like I said, maybe late July, early August. I'm not too sure on that.
Okay. And in your time and knowing the defendant, did you guys spend a lot of time together, would you say?
Yeah, we hung out pretty much every night when the time that I knew him before our falling out. Yes, we hung out quite frequently.
Okay. And would you hang out for extended periods of time?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say definitely a couple hours at a time, every night, kind of. Whether it be at the docks trucking. At the time of me knowing him through all this, I had worked at Eagle's Nest. So they would come hang out at Eagle's Nest. We would go, climbing up Gilead, taking out jet skis and going jet skiing, going boating, just, things of that nature.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
In any of your time hanging out with the client or the defendant, did you guys partake in any illegal activities?
In any illegal activities? No. Ryder obviously was a police officer, and he knew of my aspirations to becoming a police officer as well. So given that, I made sure I made sure that I was never in any illegal doings of that nature.
Okay, so in your aspirations to become a police officer, obviously you wouldn't want to surround yourself with criminals, correct?
Correct.
Okay, have you ever seen the defendant, sell any police items?
Never.
Have you ever seen him sell any bags of candy?
Never.
Have you ever known him to be in possession of illegal substances?
From a perspective of myself, knowing what I know on Ryder, no.
Okay, what kind of cop would you say that Ryder is, or was, technically speaking?
Sure. So early on when I was befriending, when I was friends with Ryder, he wasn't really involved full blown into his police work yet. He was still I was under my understanding that he was still going through his FTO programs. I believe it was after we parted ways is when he was doing things on his own. So it's hard for me to speak on the kind of officer that he was, given the fact that he was still in training in the time that I knew him.
Okay, that's fair enough. Did you ever come across Ryder while he was on duty?
I did not.
Did Ryder provide you with any kind of police equipment prior to you becoming in law enforcement?
No, sir, never.
I know I asked you if you observed him sell any police equipment. Did you ever see him give any away for free?
No, sir, never.
Have you ever been to Ryder's house?
I've been, the first time I went to Ryder's house, there was some sort of, like, well, from the truckers, we were hanging out at his house. I spent time at his pool. I would, when we were friends, the only time I would go inside of his house was to change my clothes downstairs if we were maybe going in his pool to hang out in his pool, or maybe we were going to be going up to Chiliad. I wanted to put something a little more warmer on. That was the extent of any time I spent inside of his house.
Okay. Have you been inside of his vehicles before?
I have been before, yes.
Did you say you have been?
I have been, correct. Yes, that would be correct.
Okay. While you were in his vehicle, did you happen to open the glove box or check anything? Just, because people are nosy, just kind of gandering around.
Sure. No, I was often demoted to the back seat because at the time Ryder was in a relationship with somebody. So I was, as well, she was, say, maybe the passenger princess. I was riding in the back.
Okay. Did you ever put anything in his glove box, or his trunk, anything? Has he ever asked you to get anything out of his vehicle?
No, sir.
But to your knowledge, he's never been in possession of any kind of illegal substance.
That would be correct.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor. You have anything?
All right, thank you. State your witness.
Mr. Arch.
You have anything you need to ask?
What are you doing today?
Good yourself?
Nothing for the.
Dandy.
Nothing really for anybody. Really, yeah.
Let's take a look here.
There's not. It's all, I heard.
You say that you only went to his house basically to change clothes, and to basically one house party, correct?
I stated that I went to his house to change my clothes, to hang out, correct, here and there, and I stated that on another time I went to his house for a house party. I did not state that I went to his house one time for one party, no.
Okay. Were you friends or were you acquaintances?
When? Like before, like I said to the defense, we were friends. We were acquaintances prior to the prior to the bank robbery. After the bank robbery, we became friends. We were good friends, and then we had a falling out. In which case, our falling out has been since then.
Okay, I hate to interrupt 1 second. I need about a 3-minute recess. I will let everyone know when I'm back.
Perfect time. Chad, I'll be right back.
I'll be in my head for a few minutes as well.
Let's step outside.
You want me to stand up here?
sitting here wanting to like object, but they're saving themselves with time. I just need the judge to speak. Because yeah, it's all speculation. But I get what he was trying to do. There was that last Tony Ark. Did you ever put stuff in his bucket?
All right, I got an idea. Let's see.
That's why there's police.
Ryder.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just gonna be who knows. But there's no hard evidence other than you having police. Over here.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back. Whenever both sides are ready, we can continue.
God, he's really went downhill, huh? Oh.
All right.
Hey, when did you get terminated from the
In your
PD?
time with
I got
being
terminated
friends
when
with
they
Ryder
executed the
or
search
acquaintances,
warrant on the cars, the 15th.
did you ever witness him pull out his MDT? You know
Yes,
what an MDT is?
Yes, sir. And yes, sir, I did witness him pull out an MDT.
Did he do it on more than one occasion?
No, sir.
One occasion that you know of?
Yes, sir.
What was he doing?
I believe in the moment, TJ was asking how he was
Objection, speculate.
Sustained. Unless you have personal knowledge of why he was doing what he was doing.
I was about to speak on it.
Okay, go ahead and I will decide after if I'm gonna strike it or keep it. Go ahead.
Sure. I believe that he was telling him if he had any felonies against him so that he was able to obtain a weapons license, because TJ was asking how he was able to get weapons. And Ryder was instructing him that if you have no warrants or felonies, you were able to go down to the station and obtain a weapons license.
Alright, the answer will stand.
Thank you. State's Exhibit the first video that we admitted into evidence will depict that, Your Honor. That's all I was getting at there. No further questions.
Alright, thank you, State. Defense, any redirect?
You have any?
Negative.
No, sir.
Alright, thank you. You may step down. Congratulations on your new job.
Thank you.
State, any more witnesses?
Defense?
Sorry, yes, defense.
Can we get Mr. Payne back up there briefly?
Yes, Mr. Payne, if you could step back up to the stand, please. Just as a reminder, Mr. Payne, you are under oath still. Defense, he is now your witness.
Mr. Payne, do you happen to know when the defendant was terminated from LSPD?
The day we did the second search with all the lawyers present.
On the 15th, he was terminated on the 15th.
I believe so, and that's when we had the meeting with Pope and all the lawyers.
Okay. Do you know any other department that employs people with felonies?
No.
Okay. If you're a police officer and a felon, How does that work?
If I'm catching your drift, at the time he was put on probation or something to that effect, as far as their investigations are going, but I can't speak to that.
Okay, but to your knowledge, he was still employed up until the 15th.
He was on, how you say, like a probation, or, you know, you can't use anything, or you don't have an accident until, you know, it's decided.
But he was still employed until the 15th. Is that correct?
I want to say that Smokes mentioned that he would, you know, without pay.
I understand what you're saying, that he was on probation, but he was still employed.
Okay, yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So, to your knowledge, during this investigation, you learned that he was terminated.
There you go.
On the 15th.
Yes, sir.
Okay. On the 13th, the first day that you guys served the search warrant, you attempted to make contact by phone. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what did that turn out like? Did he answer the phone? Did it go straight to voicemail?
Straight to voicemail.
Okay, so would that lead you to believe that he was not awake at that time?
Yes, sir, like in city or awake,
Yeah.
yes, sir, or available, yes.
So knowing that, why would you go ahead and perform the search warrant on that day and not wait until the 15th to do everything?
Objection, Your Honor. We've been through this.
I'm trying to get the officer's perspective on why.
I will say that would be
hold on, one second. I agree that we've been through it, but I haven't heard from the officer. So, for the record, objection overruled.
I would say the pressures to speed along the trial was brought from a federal point of view, and I cannot speak to that any further.
Whenever you mean federal, do you mean FBI or like federal?
Federal.
Okay. All right, no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. State, any other questions?
None at this time, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Payne. You may
I'm not
step down.
gonna drill him if it has something to do with.
Defense, any other witnesses or evidence?
I don't have anything. You got anything? No, Your Honor. I'm not gonna dig into it if it's something that he has
All right,
no
thank
control
you.
of.
So both sides rest. Oh, sorry, state any rebuttal.
No, Your Honor, no rebuttal.
All right, are both sides ready for closing, or do you need a couple minutes?
Defense is ready.
Wouldn't help us.
All right, state, you may start.
Yeah, Zach. Like out of city, like.
What you've heard here today is basically a case that speaks for itself. The defendant, at the time of the incident, was employed by the LSPD. The LSPD is charged with the protection of the people, even if that protection means that, you know.
Yiker. So the defendant was a police officer.
The defendant failed to act in rendering aid to Master Sergeant T-Pain.
And
the
they're
defendant
like,
was also
like
caught
they didn't
with 400 baggies of candy in his vehicle as well. He was also found in possession of stolen government property, which we found to be the spike strips in his house as well, which was carried out via search warrant.
That's wrong.
I think that the state has proved without a reasonable doubt that the defendant himself is guilty of the aforementioned charges. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Pence?
Your Honor, what you heard here today was a search warrant approved based off of hearsay. There was no actual evidence to obtain a search warrant. There was no corroboration. The officers didn't buy police-issued equipment. They didn't buy illegal narcotics. The CI didn't buy police-issued equipment. The CI didn't buy illegal narcotics. The hearsay, according to the officer, was obtained by reasonable suspicion, which we all know the minimum requirement is probable cause. A lot of the evidence that was talked about was due to hearsay from third party, fourth party. Up until the 15th, when the search warrant was executed for the second time on the vehicles, my client was still employed with the police department. Everything he had was, at that time, basically legal, as he was still employed as a police officer. There was no mention of my client being in physical possession of illegal narcotics. They may have been found in his vehicle. We obviously can't argue that. What they failed to identify is how they got there. Mr. Archer's been in his vehicle. His ex-girlfriend, who obviously would have motive to try to set him up, due to her being an ex. The CI has motive to get a dirty cop locked up. He's going to get paid for that. He's going to get stuff removed from his rap sheet. There's plenty of people out there that have a motive to plant evidence, but we have heard nothing of my client being a dirty officer. The only thing we have heard is that Mr. Payne was shot. Mr. Ryder was somewhere in the area, and that's about it. With that, I don't have anything else.
All right, thank you, defense. All right, I am. Oh, Stacey, do you have something else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I am ready, almost ready to make my ruling. I need maybe 5 minutes just to look over the charges again. So we'll be in recess for 3 to 5 minutes, and then I will come back with my ruling. Thank you both sides for your hard work tonight.
Be real with me. How do you feel?
Man, I don't know.
I don't like that he said that he needs to go and look at the charges again.
Yeah, I think I honestly don't know about this one, bro. Like,
great.
This is the one that I was honestly looking forward to the least because of all of the video stuff. And it's hard to battle the video stuff. I mean, I've tried before and been shut down, so like it's just super hard.
I mean, they didn't really use hardly any of the video footage or bring it
The only
today.
the only bad thing is it's evidence, so it's like reviewable on his side, even though like they didn't say let's look at it.
I thought they had to look at it and then admit it into evidence, not just show it as evidence. I thought they had to use it and then admit it in.
So everything that they said that they admitted can be used.
Right, which was what they did today. Was they admitted a few things in, but they didn't admit everything in.
Right. Which like one of them's a 6-hour video.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I sat down and watched it all, but I don't really see how they have any type of hard proof that I've ever done anything wrong.
No, I mean you may have broken a policy, but being in like if the police department's employing you still as having felonies, then I mean that's a whole different thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what, whenever you told me, I went up there to look at your rap sheet and see like what you had been charged with, and like before the search warrant you were arrested for felony speeding. So at that,
True,
I mean, at
yeah.
that time, like, they should have, like, basically, the police department should have came to your house and said, you know, hand over all your stuff.
Right. Yeah. Which they didn't do that. All they did was said you're hereby suspended without pay until further notice.
Yeah, which doesn't mean you're terminated. You're still employed through the department. I mean, you're not supposed to be out there doing police stuff, which sounds like you were probably out there doing trucking or something similar.
Yeah. Yeah. I was started doing trucking while waiting to finish up this court case. You know.
Is this the X?
It's the X. Yeah.
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but I had to throw something up there.
No, you're good.
I mean, you ever heard that saying, you throw enough crap to the wall, something's bound to stick?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what that was. So hopefully you don't get arrested for anything.
It's okay.
That's right. All you did was say the X. I have a lot of X's, so.
I was just gonna say which one.
But I'm the most recent one.
Well, kind of. I mean, you and
Are
Raylan were at
you
the same
sure
time.
about that?
I'm positive.
Sorry, that was inappropriate.
So I'm thinking honestly, the search warrant shouldn't have went that way, which I wasn't going to dive too deep into his response with the federal part.
Right, yeah.
I honestly don't know what could cause the pressure like that to happen if you can do, you know, if you can't wait 2 days. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on that. Like, that kind of threw me for a loop, but I mean, it is what it is.
I didn't quite
That would
understand that
expedite
either.
a search because of federal.
Yeah. But I just don't
Next time I
understand
get-
the search warrant per the officer was based on hearsay and from him reasonable suspicion, which absolutely blew my mind.
Right. Well, and even I don't even think that search warrant should have been allowed in the evidence because we didn't have the affidavit.
Well, yeah, that's why I tried to get it thrown out from the beginning.
Right. Yeah.
And then they turn it over and it's 5 pages long.
Right, but it's also 5 days late. You know, like.
Yeah. Which the state didn't have it either.
Next time I go on the stand, I'm being asked to be labeled as a witness.
An expert?
Or sorry, an expert, not witness. And it takes nothing to get expert status. so I'm
My
asking
dude's
for it.
0-7 and got expert.
Right.
That's wild.
All right, I am ready for my ruling. If everyone is ready.
Defense is ready, sir. All right, here,
State's
do
ready,
this.
Your Honor.
All right, I would like to thank both sides. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
sir.
All right, I would like to thank both. I'd like to thank both sides for their hard work on this case. I will now give my ruling. On the count of malfeasance, a felony, I will find him guilty. When the officer was shut down, as an officer, your job is to render aid. He did not do such thing. He didn't even transport him to the hospital, so he's guilty on that. Conspiracy to commit, not guilty. Aiding and abetting, not guilty. Grand larceny, not guilty. Fraud, not guilty. felon in possession of a firearm, guilty. Theft of government property, not guilty. I didn't hear anywhere anyone talk about an officer asking for those items to be returned. And according to the officer's own testimony, he was still employed at the time
Yes, sir.
of this arrest.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, even the officer admits that it might not be against the law, it's just against policy, so that is more of a policy thing. I don't find the theft of government property. For the misdemeanor possession of a controlled substance, I do find the defendant guilty, and the felony trafficking narcotics, I also find him guilty. Any questions from either side?
What do you think, buddy?
Well, I think that the felon in possession is because, like, I was still employed. That's why I still had my firearm. You know what I mean?
Possession of a firearm.
Guilty. I think if I missed that one, that one's guilty.
Okay.
So I think that should be not guilty, just because I was still employed. Like, it was police issued. I was still employed.
Anything from the defense?
Your Honor, we understand that he was an active felon at the time, but the police weapon was still issued to him. And as you said, there was no testimony from anybody about the department asking for anything back.
Well, I understand the argument there. He was told at the time, or he should have been told at the time, that he was... Okay, sorry, State, go ahead.
Oh.
State has something to say.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I agree. I kind of agree with your argument. He knew at the time, even a police officer or not, being a felon, he shouldn't have been in possession of that. So that's something he should have turned back into the police department at the time.
My associate here says that what was found was not a police issued weapon.
Okay. Well, either way, police issued or not, it wouldn't have changed my ruling. I find him guilty on that. Argument on sentencing. State, I'll let you go first.
State seeks the maximum. This is a police officer, Your Honor, and he knew better, and we have to uphold the law to the highest degree.
How much time have you spent in jail already?
We need to
20
deter
months.
other officers from doing what he did. And we have to show the public themselves that this has to be punished, and it won't go unanswered.
I'm going time, sir.
Yeah, go for it.
Defense argument.
Your Honor, we're asking for time served. This has been a long, drawn-out process, and we feel that our client has served the time that he needs to serve.
Okay.
You seriously think time served 20 months is equal to malfeasance? And that doesn't send a message.
Okay, I'm actually going to give defense. You have a minute to talk with the defendant about which option you'd like to choose. So he's looking at right now. He's looking at 116 months for the ones he was found guilty on. We can do this two ways. He can serve 75 months, giving him credit for the time we spent in court, or he can spend 25 months of community service, but he will need to go on probation for 2 weeks, including an ankle monitor. If he stays crime-free for the 2 weeks, he will not have to serve the other 40 months.
I've already been crime-free for 2 weeks with this case.
Just to confirm, Your Honor, if he goes to prison for the remaining time, he does not have to wear an ankle monitor, only an ankle monitor if he decides to do community service?
Correct. It'll be 25 months of community service with an ankle monitor for 2 weeks. The remaining time would be held over his head. Otherwise, it's 75 months in prison with no ankle monitor, no probation.
If you can give me a couple minutes to talk with my client here.
Yep, go ahead.
Straight up, they lost.
They lost. That's crazy.
They won a couple of them, but they lost.
Why is it crazy?
ultimately up to.
Ryder, what were you saying about?
Well, I mean, I've been crime free for 2 weeks while we've been waiting on this case. Like that should be the time served for the ankle monitor, right? Like, so I shouldn't have to have an ankle monitor if I go do community service because it's already been 2 weeks and I haven't committed any crimes in that time frame.
And you've been in city, correct?
Yeah. I've been running around doing some trucking, going up and doing Mount Chili Edge or going on the boat fishing. Like I've been running around here, but I think that my 2 weeks has already been up with the no crime, so I shouldn't have to wear an ankle monitor.
Your Honor, can we
Felon in possession of a firearm, trafficking.
can we kind of negotiate here?
Bunch of stuff.
Sure. I mean, it would also be with the state, but what's your negotiation?
Mr. Ryder has been crime free since the 15th. There's no entries for him into the system for even a misdemeanor at this point. So I would ask that he could do the community service, and it looks like we're going on the 3rd week of him being crime free.
Does your client know what happens if he gets popped for a crime? While he's on probation?
I'm not going to answer that.
Like, we're saying no probation, just community service.
I'm a bit confused by that question, State.
I mean, if he commits a crime while he's on probation, what is to become of him?
He would serve the remaining time that was left on the sentence. So that 50 months or 30, the 50 months would be hanging over his head.
For how long?
I said 2 weeks. I don't really know what the defense are you asking for. This no probation is that what you're asking for?
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking for him to do the community service. He's been crime free for basically 3 weeks now.
Prosecution has a problem with that, Your Honor.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I agree. I agree with partially. So here's what I will offer.
Sparkles, I know.
I mean, I don't really want to let's make a deal here in the courtroom, but you do bring up a valid point. You can do 1 week with an ankle monitor or 2 weeks without an ankle monitor with a probation. So it'd be 1 week
You've done
probation
3.
with
Can
an
you do
ankle
1?
monitor on, or 2 weeks with no ankle monitor.
Well, I could, but I don't really want to do with an ankle monitor. But
I feel you.
I guess I could do 1.
25 with 1.
Yeah, we can do that.
We would accept 25 with 1 week.
With the ankle monitor on, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That will be the order of the court then. I will write up. You will have technically a warrant in the system for 1 week. I won't say what it's for because I don't want. I'll just say open up a DOJ ticket.
Give him a cookie.
If arrested in the warrant, and we will go from there. Then after 1 week, if you want to, we can set up a meeting either through your counsel or your counsel can go with you to the police station to get the ankle monitor removed. Any questions? And the fine is going to be waived.
Okay. Are we able to leave the court case open so if he wants to reach out to counsel, he can do that through there?
Yeah, we can leave the court. We'll leave it open for 1 week. I will put that on the record.
Okay, thank you. Corey, have a fantastic night, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor. State has no comment.
All right, officer, if you want to sentence him to 25 months of community service and then also put the ankle monitor on him. Court will be adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I mean, I hope we got you some. I mean, I know we got a bunch of the big ones dropped off, but
Yeah.
Like the narcotics one, I mean, that's the only way that we could go about fighting that one is maybe somebody else put it in there.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. But no, you guys did good. Because otherwise, I was looking at north of 200 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 25
Jeez.
service with the week. I mean, you've done 3 weeks. Another week is a cakewalk.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, good job, guys.
All right.
Listen, I'll be the first to say that we may have been working this together, but that was all Mr. Speaker. That was not me at all.
Ah. The
No, I think
PD
y'all did a good
office
job.
did great.
Exactly. That's what I agree
PD on
with. Definitely. You know, I used to be one of
Yeah,
you
not
guys.
LSPD.
No.
Public Defender
No, no.
PD.
I used to be part of the Public Defender's office.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's how we became friends, man.
Right, that's how we're friends. We actually started together, and
That was a good case,
we
man.
did
It
good
really
for
was.
SPD, and then, well, these guys got me in trouble.
In a different
Sparkles, what
world,
do you
might have
mean?
been deputy chief.
Mason,
Tried to give
no,
my job away.
absolutely not. No, that's
Can we tell you that story? Tell them the story.
I've never
tell
heard
it
that.
best.
Oh man, well, I mean,
Doris,
they're
have a
reaching out,
fantastic
trying to
night. I
figure out who
appreciate
wanted to
you.
apply to
Sebastian,
be
take her to
the
Six
Deputy
Roses,
Chief
baby.
Public Defender, and so I put in my application, and then they
Oh.
offered it to him, who didn't even put in an application. I was like, "Are you kidding
I
me
had
right
no
now?"
idea. I
Damn.
accepted it.
Dark,
Didn't even
dark.
know.
We got some
Right,
good
come
charges
on now.
dropped off of him, so
Frank.
it was pretty good.
Well, they made the right choice.
What the
Trish,
heck,
thank you for the
man?
7 months. Thank you. I don't know if I
It's like
said that,
that,
but
huh?
thank you. I appreciate you.
Right. I guess y'all didn't
You
like me that much.
dissing my friend there.
Oh no! I'm a big fan of your friend. Your friend's
You
just
might
going
get
to
bumped
prison
down in pain.
as an ankle monitor.
No, he's
Come
going
on,
to
his foot here
he's
right
going
there.
to sweep the sidewalk.
Oh,
Yeah, I
commute.
gotta go sweep.
Right, right. Cut some grass.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna make me do, but
Sorry to interrupt. They just got to run to get an ankle monitor quick. I'll cut down your community service time just a little bit.
oh, okay.
For the time you spend in here.
Oh, see,
Sounds
bonus.
good, Your Honor.
Hey, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
What's up? I peed my pants one time. Am I an expert?
Yeah,
pee
I'm not
pantser?
Yeah. If there's ever a case where that needs to be
you can hug
qualified,
for-
you can go for that.
I appreciate you.
It's good work tonight. That was a fun case.
Man, that was a rough one. Like I honestly, I was so on the fence.
I know I might just have to go down and watch.
I really was.
Yeah, probably. I won't be
Yeah,
surprised.
it was like back and
I'm
forth. I
not
was like,
one of
oh,
those,
this,
so
and I was like, oh, no, not this. So,
Yep.
Maybe I think a cop was writing a ticket for it.
It's definitely good.
Probably because we parked incorrectly.
Oh, it's still.
Didn't turn out quite as good as the doctor's case, but hey.
no, it wasn't a complete sweep, but
Yeah. It would have been if you wouldn't have approved that 15th.
This was crazy.
The what?
The 15th.
But it was a good show.
The 15th what?
Yeah, going back to the cars on the 15th.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, for sure would have been. Because that was where the gun was found too, wasn't it?
That was the candy.
Or the gun was inside. Yeah, the candy. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a nice little sweep of about 5 months.
Some comfy clothes and some comfy shoes.
Oh yeah, I don't want to go do it.
Yeah, I got really confused like halfway through the case because I was like, wait, when did he become a felon? And I was like searching through the thing, and I was like, wait, how is he still a cop if he had felony speeding? And that's why I was glad that was cleared up at the end because
Yeah.
I got very confused.
Yeah, I was confused. That's why I asked him. I was like, when did you get terminated?
I'm sure you'll be done.
And he was like, on the 15th. And I was like, oh. Well, I mean, that clears a lot of things up for me.
Well, because that was the other thing, because I was like, oh, it's probably stolen property. And then when they came back into the 15th, I was like, all right, not guilty on that then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
If you just want to knock a couple more months off for the time he's
Like
for the
20,
extra time.
what, like 23 minutes or 20?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think 20 months.
Chris, he does. Judge Erickson, like, he honestly is not very biased. Like the Dirty Doctor case, he signed the
I missed
warrant.
half that case. I had to go deal with another defendant.
All right, good work, everyone. Have a good night. I'm gonna go take a nap.
Appreciate you.
You too, Judge.
Thanks,
Appreciate
brother.
Yep, you guys have a good night.
So Sparkles, I know that the one guy,
I thoroughly enjoyed working that.
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was fun.
Next one that's not 17,500 hours worth. I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun on.
Yeah, Freeze. Did you see the search warrant affidavit?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah, they submitted it at the beginning, and it's 5 pages long. And I was like,
what do you mean
at the beginning of tonight, at the case.
Okay.
The state didn't even have it. It was just the officer.
Wow.
And then it's like 5 pages long. And I mean, when I say 5 pages, it was all 5 pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have been good information to have ahead of the
Yeah,
trial.
I was like, I'm not reading through this right now, bro. Like, I'll just assume that there's PC in there, and we'll just keep going. And then he was like, oh, it's reasonable suspicion. I was like, So they asked the expert about corruption, and he was like, I don't know, because it's new. So he's like, I
Did that
can't
help
testify.
get some things thrown out then, or not?
No. I think him being terminated after the fact, there was actually no evidence of him selling anything.
Yep.
It was basically all citizens that were not witnesses.
Interesting.
Sparkles, like, and this isn't the first one.
And the alleged confidential informant.
Yeah, that was that
even
witness
though-
that I called. That wasn't here. That was the
He
CI.
wasn't here.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't here.
He was listed in the paperwork that they put in the E&W, not redacted.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, let's call him, see what he says.
It's crazy. What was his name again?
Cletus Shaw.
Cletus Shaw. That name sounds familiar. I think I've spoke to him before.
Yeah, Sparkles. I don't think the search warrant affidavit, I don't think that was in the Dirty Doctor case either. The search warrant was, but I don't think the affidavit was, which I didn't bring it up just because there was a lot. Like,
Nope, different Cletus.
Wait, which Cletus were you thinking?
I have 2 other Cletuses in my phone. So. I have a personal goal about getting everybody in the city's phone number right.
Are you almost
There was
there?
one Cletus that came up to me, handed me a C4 bomb, and said, "Love you, buddy," and then left. Never seen that guy.
You still have it?
That was like my 3rd day in city. Oh God.
Oh. Yeah, you're thorough as hell.
Crazy.
That guy
Good
was
job, guys.
Like, in city, I hate going against you. I really do. I hate going against you.
All right, gentlemen. I'm also gonna go and take a nap, so I will see you.
Yeah, I'm not too far behind you.
Yep. You guys have before you leave, you guys have extra megaphones, or do you need them? How many you got?
Well, I accidentally gave mine to the defendant.
Gotcha.
I have one on.
I can
Got
go
one
get
on you?
more.
Gotcha.
Yeah, take it as a
I'll go up there.
compliment.
Randy, let me
I'm
hook
for
you up.
real.
I'll give you a couple here.
Like, because
You just got one right now, right?
you're
Correct. Yeah, I just have the
you're
one.
like really pretty thorough and stubborn as hell. Like, so it's just like, it's a good fight though. It really is. I enjoy it. You just make my job harder. I ran DOJ miles today. I walked away.
Those are your buddies. You're helping your buddies out, in a sense. So you're
Okay.
getting, more status quo with your buddies.
Okay.
That's where I went with that one.
Okay.
So the aiding and abetting, you're gonna have to look up this word, inciting. So it's basically enticing someone to commit a crime. Here's their contact information. If you want to go do it, go do it. They'll help you out. In a sense, you're not necessarily telling me, but
Toxic Gaming, what up?
that's what that one was.
Okay.
I think it was a good case for sure. Schmick, no worries, buddy. No worries.
So an agreement.
Blake, what up,
this was
baby?
an agreement
How are you,
when
bro?
Two or more individuals commit an illegal act or violate the law. So the way we were looking at that was that I'm saying I want to break the law, and you're saying here, go break the law, and here's a contact for it. But I'm
Okay.
not going to do it.
Okay. And
That's
that
what
falls
was.
that falls under aiding and abetting.
Bro, you're a huge turd.
Okay.
You're a
Okay.
huge turd.
But yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Hey man, stop trying to poach.
Poach?
Believe me.
What you trying to get? What do you mean? You want to come work for me?
Nothing. No, nothing.
That was a really fun one. It really was.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Some things got missed.
It was exhausting.
It was, bro.
There was a phone call. There was a phone call that got missed about. I was asking Ryder for a baton to go beat up locals when they stole from me. He said,
Hey, T,
"Just shoot." What's up?
what do you need for a search warrant?
When?
Any search warrant.
Oh, ask Ashley. I will call.
My man. Hey, if nothing else, you learned something.
Yep.
Yeah, me too,
No,
apparently.
but yeah, the whole baton thing, and then him saying, "Just shoot them in the back of the head when they run away from him."
I will say this: since our first case at Polar Bear, my lawyering has gotten better, but I still.
Bro, you did good tonight.
I still want to grow up and be like you.
Bro, stop. No, stop.
Did you watch all the videos?
Are you kidding me?
God.
Hell no, I didn't watch all the videos.
You didn't watch none of them?
I watched
I
some
worked
of
hard
them.
on
I didn't
mine.
watch this. No, you didn't. You just put everything in there.
Did you watch the last video?
I didn't watch the 6-hour one. I can tell you that.
Dude,
That's
I
the
was watching
best
videos.
one.
I was at work today from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 12 noon. And during that time, I watched videos. I didn't teach. I watched videos.
I'll be honest with you. Out of the 400 hours of video that you submitted, I probably watched 30 minutes.
I had to dress up, man. I had to put shorts on and
I-
put me a little lisp on there.
No offense. I kind of got that one with the warrant service thing, but I was,
Yeah, there was just so much, like with everything that has been going on. Like, I'm like, golly, bro. Old Payne just went. He just said, "Here, take everything."
Hey man, I go in.
He wanted to make sure that every second was covered.
Yeah, I do like how you submitted that seizure form, though.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said it from the get go. Like, me doing this is to make y'all better, and
Yeah.
it
Speaking
harder.
of forms.
It harder to like beat cases.
Yeah. We made a new form too. They're called a buy reporting form.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Harvey, I hate to say this, but you exhaust me, man.
Why?
I'm over here trying to before trial, I'm exhausted by you because I'm trying to anticipate what you're gonna ask questions on, and I'm all over the spectrum in my brain, dude. And because this is the third time I've gone up against you.
So here, I'll give you a hint from the the state side of it. Look at it as like not so much. I mean, the proof is gonna be in the video and the testimony and like the report. It's a lot, especially like a lot of it should be in the writing, in the report. The body cam should be there to corroborate what's said in the report. So look at that and then say, what can I, like, how can I go at this to try and disprove your side?
Loophole.
Yeah.
Report
Like,
is see attached body
anything
cam
that you
footage.
could
See, 400
find
hours of
anything
body
that you
cam
could
footage.
say, like, well, it says this, but the body cam shows this, or like try to look at their reports, and then whenever they get up there and testify, just be like, that doesn't match up. Like a lot of like what I asked tonight was mostly off of the report and what Payne had testified to.
Yeah, I got that.
Yep.
So just look at it not from the prosecuting side, but like where can I find something, like especially with the search warrant affidavit. Like when we didn't have that, I was like,
See, that's the where you weren't in. There's another court channel open that we had to keep it hush hush at the time because we went on multiple eyes, and that's where it all got approved through. And originally when they opened the court case, originally they were like, "Can we get the search warrant?" So we gave them the search. We didn't ask for the search warrant affidavit. Because obviously you have to give them the search warrant. You don't necessarily have to give them the affidavit, but obviously you'd want the affidavit for the court. Anyways.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
like
gonna
all
start
that
asking for
stuff,
that.
unless it is 100% sealed, is generally open to the public. Like somebody could come up to the courthouse and be like, I want the search warrant affidavit, all that stuff. The only time it's not sealed is, or like realistically, is for court purposes. Like it's available through that process, or like you have to file an unsealed thing. Like what I would start doing is, if you guys get CIs, start giving them numbers. That way you don't have to put their name in the report.
Yeah, so you don't burn them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to put them in the search warrant affidavit like Cletus's was. And
Well, I'm done with that dude. That dude stopped responding.
so there's whenever you guys
Anyways,
submitted your
sorry.
ENW on the state side, there was a form that you guys submitted that basically labeled Cletus Shaw as the CI, and he wasn't redacted, and so that's why I put him on the ENW for our witness.
That was what that we put a notice of confidentiality in, but I guess it.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I mean that's fine. You can keep him confidential, but he's on this
But if you
paperwork,
call
so
him
I'm gonna.
That's what I was saying. Is like, if he calls him to the stand, there's nothing I can do. He's doing it on his own volition.
Oh, we need to put what, like CI and then redacted?
Yeah, just start make a
object
file. Make a file for confidential informants, and each one that you like sign up or whatever, assign them a number. That way you can go back to like your file and say, oh, this is CI whoever, and like whatever you pay him, like all that stuff. Just to keep track of them, and it kind of keeps them out, like because we would have to go through like a bunch of stuff to try to get the information about that CI. I mean, CIs aren't 100% confidential ever. Like there's
that's what we
there's
tell them.
ways.
I said sometimes you might.
But CIs also don't have to testify either.
Get your name changed.
And what did I tell you every single time we met about names and dates? I told you to make sure that your names and dates were correct.
Yep.
Yeah, the 14th.
I was curious about that.
He said a clerical error.
You guys serve
Was
it?
it? I don't even know which one you were talking about, to be honest with
Faded
you.
over into the 14th after midnight with different time zones, because I know the MDT only runs.
Well, I mean, he put the date in on 3 of the items, or 3 of the searches. So he, in his opening paragraph, he said on 9/13 he served the search warrant, and then like another paragraph down, he started listing the evidence and what day and where it was found, and 3 of them were 9/14 at the house.
No. Yeah, it was a mess a little bit there at the end. It kind of, you heard the whole rushing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably could have went a little longer. Actually,
I'm curious about that. If you want to like shoot me something and let me know, because I'm curious why they would make you do that.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Like, I kind of want to lodge a department complaint.
And whenever you said federal, that's why I was like, I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
I just stopped because I was like, I'm not gonna try and delve into it.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, I don't really know of it. I just know
Yeah,
I
you don't have
learned
to
from the
say it
group.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Did you win? Oh, Cuddy.
Anyways,
I appreciate y'all, man. Hopefully, it's helping you guys too.
Yep.
Every time is always helping me.
That's the goal. Like, honestly, a win's cool, but like, if I could like just see the progression, then it's.
I learned
even
more in
better.
that loss on the Dirty Doctor than I did on the win in Polar Bear.
If y'all want to be honest, I take some of the stuff that I learned in court here and I apply it when I have to testify on my cases at IRL.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Like, and for like Payne and you guys, like, if you can, whenever you type up like your reports and stuff, like try to cover every crime and the elements of that crime. So basically, do you know what an element of the crime is?
Are you talking to me?
Payne.
Hey, get off Google.
That's what I was about to say.
Uh-oh. Are we popping?
Yeah, Sparkle's 100%. I mean, I can hear.
Okay.
No, I'm here. I
okay.
couldn't
Okay.
hold it in no longer. All right.
Do you know?
Yeah. I mean, like element crimes. Like, how did you get to that crime and
Well, basically, it's like
what's the proof of that crime?
Yeah,
How did that get committed? Yeah.
kind of like the roots of it, you know, like like armed robbery. They had to have a weapon and all that stuff, and then there's like
intent.
Yeah, you have to show intent. I mean, robbery is force or fear. So basically, you have to show that they either forced the person or made them fear that if they didn't give it, something bad was going to happen, and they took something to deprive them permanently.
Mentally culpable of purposefully.
That whole thing kind of confused me about the probable cause to do a search warrant, but we submitted everything, and the judge said there was, I guess enough probable cause to approve the search warrant.
Yeah. So
that
I would say, like,
confuses
I've
me.
been told numerous times by like real lawyers that the police know probable cause better than lawyers.
That's true.
So just remember that too. I've been told that numerous times. Like, well, you know probable cause better than I do. Well, that's kind of scary, but
That's the thing, though, too. You can have more than enough probable cause, and a judge will still deny your application for a warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most don't include the actual speed.
Alrighty.
It's always a pleasure going up against you. I always learn something in the courtroom, and it's always entertaining.
I appreciate you, man. Like you guys make it interesting for sure.
I do the best I can. Granted, I ignored some things on the roll sheet I shouldn't have ignored, but
You're the one that has your wife's legal, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife is she's a prosecutor and my dad's a prosecutor.
Don't be cheating, bro.
Oh, I'm not. My wife's in bed asleep right now.
Get her on the mic one day when you're in here.
Yeah, your
I'm like,
voice is
"Wait,
gonna
what?"
change. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna sit down. Yeah, fantastic job, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, so what part are we going after now?
Nobody tonight. We can go to sleep.
Yeah. Do we want to talk a little bit more? Obviously.
Yeah, we can talk for a second before bed.
Bring me somebody nice.
I'm gonna try to get a couple more of this in.
Bring you Fisher. You want to defend Marlon Fisher? Shot me in the head.
I mean, honestly,
No,
I
kidding.
didn't want to do this one just because of the allegations, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's my job.
You don't get to pick them.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night.
Take it easy, man.
Bro, that was a good time. It really was. I'm glad that these people like aren't taking it to heart, but like using it to learn, because that's like the whole goal. You know what I'm saying?